Hey teachers, Sarah Snyder here. I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you a really cool remote learning hack that I learned from one of my favorite influencers on Instagram. She's a teacher. Her Instagram handle is A Primary Kind of Life, and she shares all kinds of fun tech tips and tricks. So I definitely recommend you check her out. At the end of this tutorial, if you're interested in seeing her in-depth tutorial, please check out her Instagram stories. I can help you get there. I can direct you to it. But this is a really cool Google Sheet checklist that she uses to keep track of her student remote assignments. So there's lots of assignments floating around. This is a really easy way to keep track of which of your students have completed which of your remote assignments. So I'm in a Google Sheet. Notice that I named the tab this week. I gave the dates for this week. I'm going to show you at the end how you can just duplicate this for next week just to make your life super, super easy and kind of have a consistent system. So I've got my students here in column A, and I've got my assignments posted and listed in row 1. I color coded them because it looks nice and I just like how it looks. So if you want to add checkboxes to a sheet, you highlight which cells you'd like to have checkboxes in them, and then you go to Insert, Checkbox. Now they automatically pop in as black. You can change that by going to the text color menu and choosing a color. Now I made them coordinate with my heading colors, but you can do whatever your heart desires when it comes to that. So now that the checkboxes are in here, you might want to assign each of these boxes a point value. Maybe students earn a certain number of points when they submit an assignment, or you can just make each one worth 1 so that you can keep track of how many assignments each student has turned in. So to give each checkbox a value, I'm going to keep these set of checkboxes in this column B highlighted. I'm going to right click or 2-finger click. I'm going to scroll all the way down to where it says data validation, and I'm going to click on that. Make sure that it says checkbox, that's our criteria, and you're going to use custom cell values. If these boxes are checked, let's make it valued at 1, and if they're not checked, let's make it 0. And then we're going to save it. Okay, so then every time I check one of these, it's going to be worth 1. Well, you're thinking, Miss Snyder or Sarah, how do I know that it's counting? How do I count them? I don't want to have to count individual cells. That's going to drive me nuts. Over on the end here in column M, I have a totals column, right? So what I'm going to do is I want the computer to count these for me. I don't want to have to count these by myself. So I want, for this student, this first student, I want it to count this student's total activities. Well, how do you do that? You're going to go to the functions menu and you're going to click on sum. Okay, that's gonna add together all the things that you want it to add together. So for this student, I want it to add this whole row of assignments, and then I'm gonna click enter. So right now it says 0, and I just copied that for each of these. You can just copy and paste that same formula into the rest of your totals column. And look at this first student, what happens when I start checking boxes. Right? It starts counting assignments for me, which is super, super helpful. So I can just glance quick at my totals and say, oh, student 2 has turned in 6 of, 11 assignments. So we're missing a couple things. So it's a really quick way to eyeball what students have and have not turned in. So like I said, let's say the week is over and you want to use the same template for next week. All you do is go down to the bottom on this tab and you right click and you duplicate it. And once you duplicate it, it will have a name of copy of, right? You can rename it to whatever the dates of the next week are, right? So then you have one for every single week and you can keep track of what students are turning in. So this is a really cool hack. If you have questions, please let me know. Again, I'm going to include this template in the Snyder Snippets this week so that you can customize it and kind of make it your own. If you have other Google Sheets questions, I love Google Sheets. I'm obsessed with Google Sheets. So please reach out. We can chit chat and we can learn some more about it. Thanks for watching and happy Halloween.